This is KGW News at 11.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Porter. We start with three things to know tonight on the coronavirus. First, the number of patients in the hospital with COVID continues to rise in both Oregon and Washington. There are now 937 COVID patients in Oregon. This graph shows the sharp rise in hospitalizations in the past month. Number two, Washington's renewed mask mandate went into effect today. Masks are now required in any public indoor space for everyone older than 5, vaccinated or not. And number three, Legacy Health is now the latest hospital to pause all non-urgent surgeries for at least 2 weeks. They need the additional beds to make up for an increase in COVID patients and staff shortages. Another big headline today, the Pfizer COVID vaccine has now received full FDA approval. It's a move many are hoping may help fight vaccine hesitancy. Here's Pat Doris.
In the Columbia Gorge, the federally recognized nonprofit medical group called One Community Health played a leading role in vaccinating many who live around Hood River and the Dalles. They took part in this federal vaccine effort last June, but roughly 6,300 of their 21,000 patients are still not protected. They know there's a lot of false information still out there with the COVID vaccines, so they are moving fast now after the full FDA approval of Pfizer. So are you folks pushing out a bunch of information today about the FDA?
We will be, yes. We're going to probably text message all of our unvaccinated patients, letting them know that it's been fully approved, and hopefully we'll get some more individuals signed up for the vaccine.
In Woodburn, the Salud Clinic is another federally recognized healthcare provider on the front lines. Dr. Antonio German said FDA approval will open minds and sway some who were undecided about whether to trust the vaccine.
We see a lot of patients that come in that have these questions. And so I think this will give for my providers and for myself and that one-on-one interaction with patients to say, hey, look, the science is there. And now we can really say that today with that full authorization in the FDA and lend support for that.
And to the south, in the Medford area where vaccination rates are low and infection numbers are high, Dr. Dan Weiner said things are so bad there is already a slight uptick in the number of people getting COVID shots. But the issue is now so political, some need an excuse to break away from their friends.
And I think people are looking for their healthcare professional that they trust to give them some excuse, if you will, to say, well, my doctor said I really needed to because X or Y. And it feels like that's having an impact. That's giving them some kind of leverage that they can have within their families.
Nurses rallied in Tualatin tonight to voice their concerns about the state forcing healthcare workers to get the shot. They marched up and down Boones Ferry Road. Governor Brown originally said healthcare workers who did not get vaccinated would have to be tested for COVID weekly. Last week, she took away that testing alternative and made the shots mandatory.
It's your body, your choice. People should not be forced into injecting anything into their body that they do not feel comfortable with.
That nurse, who did not want to reveal where she worked, points out there's already a nursing shortage in the state. The Oregon Nurses Union has said they believe this mandate will lead to some nurses quitting their jobs. Theater goers will be required to show proof they've been vaccinated to get into some shows in Portland. This weekend will be the first time in over a year the Arlene Schnitzer Concert Hall welcomes an audience inside. But with the Delta variant bearing down hard, there will be new rules. Catherine Cook reports.
In downtown Portland, the stages are set.
This fall's probably going to be the happiest that we've been in a long time.
Soon, curtains will once again rise at the Keller Auditorium, Arlene Schnitzer Concert Hall, and the theaters within Hatfield Hall, a first since March 2020.
And seeing audiences walk through the doors for the first time is going to be hugely emotional. I'm going to bring plenty of Kleenex.
Robin Williams is executive director of Portland 5 Centers for the Arts. To protect against COVID-19, the venues are requiring audience members to provide proof of vaccination or a negative test within 48 hours of the show. Also, under the governor's current mandate, masks are required indoors.
We're just making sure that there's a plan in place so that everybody's safe.
The Schnitz reopens Saturday night with comedian Franco Escamilla. The Keller opens September 28th with Jesus Christ Superstar. Williams says it's a good idea to check for additional restrictions with each performance. For example, Oregon Ballet Theater. In October, kids under 12 won't be allowed to attend the ballet's performances of Face to Face. Williams hopes everyone who can will join them in the theater soon.
We can hardly get through a training without tearing up.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Just in tonight, the man suspected in Portland's latest homicide has turned himself into police. He's 22-year-old Rolando Mingledorf. He's now in jail, accused of killing 25-year-old Jamari Herring. Herring was shot and killed at the Mingle Lounge in Old Town early Sunday morning. Later that day, 5 people were shot at a vigil for Herring near the same spot. They're all expected to survive. Police say there are many potential witnesses who may have seen both shootings, and they're asking them to come forward. There was also a shooting following political rallies in Portland yesterday, and some are criticizing police for not stepping in to stop the violence. The far-right extremist group Proud Boys held a rally in Northeast Portland, and several Proud Boys members fought the far-left group Antifa. Police were largely nowhere to be seen. They didn't step in until hours later when a man opened fire downtown. Luckily, no one was hurt. The shooter has been arrested, but police are saying tonight there may have been a second shooter, and they're still investigating. In a statement today, Mayor Ted Wheeler praised police for largely staying back, saying it mitigated confrontation, adding the broader public was protected. Some activists, though, are furious.
It was striking to me that the police bureau so emphatically came out saying, we're not going to show up. You're on your own. I can't think of any other circumstance where that has been the case. We are so lucky. We're so lucky that nobody was seriously hurt or killed.
Both Portland Police and the mayor's office declined our request for interviews today. Others are upset about this, that police didn't respond to this. Yet again, street racers took over some intersections in Portland this weekend. This was at Northeast Cully and Prescott. Other videos show racers doing donuts and other tricks in North Portland and Southeast Portland as well. They even stopped traffic on the Fremont Bridge. Multiple people called 911, even posting to social media, wondering why police didn't break these up. Police say they don't have the resources and they were busy responding to other emergencies. Officers did respond to one of the events at about 3:30 in the morning near Southeast Division and 48th. They ended up issuing 1 ticket.
You know, that this is happening, and what happened last night happened on the heels of the city's ordinance against street racing. It seems like it's the people that are doing this don't care and know that there's no repercussions. It was just completely brazen.
The street racing ordinance passed last week says drivers can be cited up to $500, face jail time, and get their cars towed. New tonight, we learned of another situation Sunday that did draw a police response. A woman's accused of trying to kidnap a 6-year-old boy. It happened downtown near 3rd and Burnside just before 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Police say the boy was waiting in line with his family outside of a restaurant, and that's when the suspect lunged at him, saying she wanted to take him. Police say she had an axe and a machete with her and was threatening the family and using racial slurs. The family started throwing things at the suspect to keep her away. She ran off, but police caught up to her a few blocks away.